Hello everyone, I am back with another episode of PMP Exam Prep Hour. This one is our 37th episode, so episode number 37. And today I am thinking of starting the session with the help of business case. So we will explore a topic around that. So I am your host here, Saket Bansal. I am into project management education. I teach things like PMP, things like skilled agile, and other stuff like agile coaching, enterprise coaching, and these kind of topics. So we are expected to streaming this particular session on YouTube and LinkedIn. Sometime LinkedIn has some issues, so you may be only seeing it on YouTube. But I'm hoping that some of you can see it on LinkedIn as well. So wherever you are seeing this particular stream, if you have any question, you can type there in the comment area. In the LinkedIn, I think it's a running chat which you have, or in the YouTube also there is a running chat which you can put in. I think LinkedIn call it comment and YouTube call it chat, so you can put it at any place. We can start with a question also if you have anything to start with. This week I published the document as a sample document of business case. So I thought, why don't I just talk about business case only? Probably I will speak less today. And then we hope if we have any queries, we can discuss about these things. Yeah. So thank you, Ahmad, for checking out our videos. Yeah. Thank you for putting your kind words here. Yeah. So great. Thank you. So we have this thing to start with then. Yeah. So I talk about business case and then we take it further. Yeah. As we go along. So what is business case? So I would say that to many, it looks very obvious, and there are set of population who are working as a project manager. It may look very weird. What is business case? I just need to start with the project. And many of you believe the project starts with the project charter. So where this business case comes into the picture. So you have a need, you have a problem, and do you see that there is a business benefit of solving that need? So the business case is a document, which is a business document, not a project document, is something which is prepared by the business team to see the business viability of solving a problem or investing in the opportunity. Because the organization has a limited money, and with that limited money, they want to produce maximum impact. So before they invest money at some places, they need to evaluate what are the options available and where I can invest more, where I should be investing less. So you can say the project is expected to bring a change, project is expected to launch a product. There could be many candidate options which the organization might be thinking of, and they want to evaluate to find out which one is aligned with their strategy, as well as makes financial case to invest in that particular area. So that particular activity of taking an approval for financial investment on a project which is going through requires some kind of facts and figures and information, and that is something which is presented in the form of business case. So that's you can say that's a starting point. Now some of you may say that I'm working as a project manager, but I have never worked with a business case, and I am doing this project management for maybe 20 plus years. So I would say there is possibility, and there is a possibility that you don't use business case. Now in which type of organization business cases are usually not prepared? When you are doing project against the contract. So say in my PMP class, I explain that there could be two ways of looking at project starting. One is a strategic projects. So say you have your own organization and your organization wants to bring a new product, they want to improve processes, they want to do something. And in order to do that, they need to have a financial viability and evaluation of those ideas. So in those cases, the business case is something which is always present. It is very weird to say that there is no business case. So the organization, there will be a group of individuals who will be looking into the research of that particular idea, forecasting how much money we can make, and based on that, they approve or reject that particular business initiative. But if I'm doing work for someone, for example, I am working and creating website, and someone gives me a call that I want to make a website. I will say, okay, this is how we will do. I will give a proposal to that person, and we do that job. And I will give a proposal to that person, and the person will evaluate it. And if they say it is good, we can say, okay, let's get started with the project. I will initiate a project in my company, and we will do it. And then we will release it to the customer, and we take the money. So in a way, some amount of financial viability we already did when we were proposing for the contract. But since these kind of events are one-time event, you propose, you do the job, you get the money, many a time you don't prepare a separate document called business case. So if you are not using business case, don't worry. Don't worry that I might be doing something wrong in my organization. But do appreciate when you are going for a PMP exam that there is a situation where some projects will be business case driven and some project could be a contract driven. Yeah. But when I'm dealing with the exam, I can't say that all projects will be contract driven. Strategic projects are expected to be a business case driven, so that so I need to have an understanding of it. My idea of learning project management or doing PMP certification is always relate with what you do in the day-to-day work. If you are taking some exceptions, try to understand what are the reason of it and what are the context, and then we say, okay, holistically, rather than we just remember, oh, business case comes first and then the project gets started. You don't have to think in that particular manner. So that's a little explanation. Now, something like, okay, business case is there, not there, but a project manager has to do in it. So practically speaking, it's not a project document. Most likely, you are not the one who will prepare it. Yeah, but you are the party who will get impacted by it. So there could be many business case which your portfolio group, your PMO group is evaluating. Not all business ideas will get converted into project. There will be many who will get rejected. And something which will get converted into the project, there the project team and project manager will get involved. So there is a likelihood that in the initial stages when the business case is getting prepared, a project manager is not involved. Now there is also a possibility you as an individual may get involved. So while we are doing business case, many a time in the organization, they need technical perspective, they need project management perspective, they need estimation perspective, because the business case is expected to have a high level estimate so that we see how much money we are going to invest and what kind of results we can get. So that kind of analysis is expected to happen. In that particular situation, you as a person, as a subject matter expert of project management may participate there. But not as a project manager of that project. There is a possibility if that business case get approved, you may become the project manager as well. Many a time, if you're working in this strategic organization where there is a stream of work, then sometimes you as a project manager may end up also doing some amount of program management. In that case, you get involved in those kind of initiatives because you are working on that particular line for a longer duration. You have a product line and you are expected to take care of various projects under that product line. Then you might be the one who preparing the business case sometime for initiating a new project under you. But as a project manager, you don't think about making the business case as your contribution artifact. You are impacted by that. You participate as a subject matter expert if needed. Now, then the question comes in, if I'm not the one doing it, then who does it? Yeah. So another important aspect for our PMP certification is, unlike your Scrum certification, SAFe certification, where for everything there is a predefined answer, this job is done by this role. So in those certifications, we try to create role like Scrum Master, Product Owner, and etc. And then we divide the work as per it. So the framework explains that these roles will do these things. Now in the real organization, we need to map the role to the person and then we run the show. In case of project management, that simplicity cannot be there because the project varies from size, complexity, the frameworks. So we can't say this person will do this job. That is difficult. So we need to figure it out as per our organization process, as per our environment, that who is the right guy who will prepare a business case. Usually the skill which is applied for business case preparation is business analysis. And then there is a possibility someone called business analyst doing that. There is a possibility someone called portfolio manager doing this particular activity. There is a possibility somebody called program manager might be doing this activity. So someone who has a understanding of strategic investment goal, has an understanding and can do a research about the expected benefit which we are expected to get from this particular initiative. And then they take an input from the subject matter experts to talk about what all expenses we will make so that they can put the business case for the approval to the management. Now, preparation, you can say business analysis or portfolio manager. Approving, who approves it? So you can say the approval of a business case will be done by the high power, high interest person. Someone who could be taking care of a responsibility of profitability of a one particular unit. You may call that person portfolio manager or portfolio head. That's a possibility. It could be a group of individuals rather than one. Many a time in the organization, they create portfolio group which has technical expertise and the business understanding and the management and program management understanding, and these are the three people who usually evaluate these ideas and approve or reject them. So there will be a portfolio evaluation group in a strategic space who will be approving these kind of business case. If you are doing contract driven projects, then you had a request for proposal, you already put the proposal in place, the contract has been signed off, the sales team will brief you and you will get started. That flow will be there. So this whole process of business case approval and everything may not be there because you are doing contract driven project. But the strategic project where the business case makes maximum sense will be having this particular approving. So business analyst is a good word to put as a preparation guy, and someone senior in the organization, you can call him sponsor, you can call him portfolio manager, director, is the one who will probably approve the business case. Now, what could be the key details of the business case? Now, this is something I can take an opportunity to show you what I shared during this week. So some of you who are following me on my LinkedIn, you probably already have an awareness of it. So I made this sample document for you as a business case. It's a pure sample document. My objective is education. I'm not saying that this is a perfect document. But why I prepared it? Many a time when I'm meeting people who are doing project management, who have done PMP certification, even after that, they are wondering, what could be there? I have never seen these kind of things in my day-to-day work because they might be working in a contract-driven project. So I can say, okay, this is something you can explore. So a business case can have a general thing starting with executive summary, which may talks about why should we do this particular initiative at a summary level, may focus on what kind of key benefits we are expected to get this particular thing. So here I am making a business case where a retail space creator, a shopping mall creator is thinking we should have an online website to sell our shops. Rather than just relying on sales office where people come and visit the shopping mall and we sell it. Why don't we have an online platform to sell it? Now, this is the same example. Some of you who are doing PMP and you are using PMI authorized content. So the PMI ATP content also talks about this kind of an example. So I'm saying, okay, the web component, we have a business case and we want to increase traffic. We want to have competitive advantage. So those kind of reasons I am putting here, hypothetically. And then we specify what is the real business need and how this particular thing aligned with our business strategy. So I put that. Then I talk about what are the indicators which will help us in knowing that we are getting what we wanted to get. And the early indicator, we call them leading indicator, something which tells us that are we going in the right direction or we are diverting from where we wanted to go. So we can have a leading indicator like site visit and the people booking the site visit or by visiting the shop, increasing visibility. So some kind of things which I put, and how do we measure them and what frequency we measure them. That is also I may put as a leading indicator. Then we also can have a business case talking about what is the high level requirement, what should solution should have at a high level. Things can evolve as we go along, but the business case should give us a starting thing. So we talk about the functional requirement, non-functional requirement, some other type of requirements which might be there, some amount of exploration which has been done for the solution alternative. Because business case should talk about what all alternative we have explored, what are the advantages and disadvantages associated with it. Sometimes you have a financial calculation also associated with those alternatives. And then finally, you talk about that this particular alternative, we are the one which we are recommending. So some kind of that kind of details. Then you may have a financial justification. So financial justification may talk about various cost head which are involved in this particular initiative. Here I'm just putting as a sample. And then you come up with the total cost. You also do a revenue projection, that what kind of money you can expect because of this particular result which will produce at the end of a project, and what are the timelines. That's another thing, the revenue projection. And based on that, you can do a calculation of return on investment and payback period and something else. Here the ROI was very great. It's 2,000% ROI. So it's a very small investment. The returns are very high as per my calculation here. And then you may summarize and give a little bit ROI percentage and as well as the payback period. Payback period is also happening very fast in this particular case because the ROI is very high. And then you may have a section related to risk, some key stakeholders information, and then maybe you can have assumptions, constraints also if you want to put in. Then there is a glossary of terms which are used here, some kind of references. Here I'm putting learning references, but you can have references related to the source of data which you have used in preparation of a business case. Then you can talk about who has signed off, who has prepared, and this is a kind of a document you can prepare for a business case. Now you can download this document. You just need to visit eisenbridge.com/downloads. Yeah, you go there, you will locate it. It's freely available, no email needed. You just go and download. That's something you can also do. So this is the one sample. So it gives you hopefully an idea that what kind of a key details you can expect in the business case. Yeah. So that's something is available here. Yeah. I will put the link in the chat as well in a minute here as well. So I put it here in the chat as well. Yeah. So it should reach you, and in the banner also I can show. So this is a link, which is a pretty straightforward link. You can visit eisenbridge.com/downloads, and you can find some other documents also. I think we have around 8 documents by now, but yes, this is something you can explore. So we got an idea, key details in the business case. Now we focus a little bit quick conversation before we get into details. So what is the difference between business case and contract? So you can say contract is a legal binding. Contract is done between two parties. If you have a business case, if you are unable to meet business case, probably the law authority and the other people will not come and catch you. Yeah, it is an internal matter still. Yeah, because it's a strategic thing. You wanted to do something, but you cannot do something. But if you have taken a money from someone to make a website for them, as a contract, you have signed off that we will be doing in this much time, then it's a legal binding. Yeah, you make money, you lose money, you have to do it. Yeah, else you have other consequences. But if I myself decide to make a website for my company and I decide not to continue it after 1 month, I can do it. Yeah. So business cases are internal document. They are internal. The powerful people of your organizations are giving it to you. That's there. But contract is something which is external document and has a legal binding as well. So that's how we can differentiate these two artifacts. Now somebody will say business case and project charter. Looks like this all is the project charter. So we can say project charter is a project document. This is the business case is something talking about the financial justification of doing the project. And the approval of a business case will say is the financing things make sense and we can go ahead with it. The project charter is authorization of the project. We can say, yes, we need to go for it. So business case is more about financial part. Yeah, we really need to see, is it making sense? It can have intangible benefits as well, but that's the major thing. But it will not have a project manager name. It will not have a project related constraint because we are not sure when we are going to start the project. So approved business case is expected to go to a PMO or some kind of unit, and they will see what kind of project teams are available, what is the project managers available, and they may put some extra information related to the project environment, quality environment, and all those things. And they will form a small project charter, which will be authorizing that, yes, we want to start with this particular initiative now, get started. That's a project charter. So project charter is more like giving you a trigger to start your project activity. Now, when you are studying a project charter, you definitely need to look into a business case as a reference, which gives you more idea about who are the people behind it, what kind of justification you see behind this particular initiative. So that's always a good idea. So look at that particular information. Now, just one more thing, and then we open for question and answer. I see already few are coming. So project execution and business case. So we can say, okay, my project charter came as a project manager. So after that, I forget about it. Yeah, I probably will worry about business case in the first week of the project when I want to identify the stakeholders and business justification. Do I need to worry about it later on? The answer is yes, most likely. Because see, whenever you are reviewing your project on various milestones, you want to make sure that your business case and project execution is aligned. There is a possibility that things may not go as per business case because the planning is always expected to improve. Yeah, we may have change in a cost structure, we may have a change in our profitability structure, but at the same time, we can't keep our eyes closed. So overall, when we are executing our project, we look at a business case to understand what are the priority, why are we doing it, what kind of financial goal we have. So alignment of a business case is my responsibility throughout. And on various periodic steps, say phase ends and various steps, I need to expect it to show or aligned, work with my business people and see how aligned we are on the business case. Sometimes there is a possibility of revisiting the business case also. And sometimes it is also possible stakeholder may see that this is not making sense. Let's discontinue with this project. So all these things can happen. And in order to make those things happen on a more open-ended, more openly and with the factual data, I as a project manager should study the business case and should produce some kind of information which can help my stakeholder to see where we stand. They are anyway going to see it on various phase and review. So that's how I can say the project execution and business case might connect with each other. So that's all from my side, from a prepared thing. Yeah, and we can move forward with that. So say we have a question and say business case versus business value. So in a simple word, the business case uses business value insight. Yeah. So business value is I should earn money. Yeah, that's a business value, revenue generation as an example. So business case is revenue generation is going to happen this much. Should we invest this much money for this much revenue? That's a business case. Justification of targeting that particular business value. So business value in a simple word is a type of benefit, tangible or intangible benefits the organization is expected to achieve by doing that particular initiative. And evaluation, the forecasting of those business values are available in the business case. And based on those forecasting of the business value, we also see the viability or the justification of doing this particular project. Now, when I go inside the project, I need to make sure that we have a common understanding of business value, the benefits which my organization wants to achieve. In order to identify that, I will study the business case. I will take a clarification from people also. There is a possibility some values are not very well explained in the business case. And I need to have that revised understanding of those business values. And going forward, I will track those business values in my project execution as well. Yeah. So say you are doing PMP exam. Why should you do PMP exam? For example, somebody will say, I want to do a PMP exam because I want to earn money and I see that the 20% salary will increase by doing PMP exam. So that's your business case. Yeah. Now, when you are focusing on doing PMP exam, you are preparing, you are saying my goal is increasing my project management skills to get a better job. Yeah. That's why I'm doing PMP. So whatever I prepare for PMP, I need to focus on increasing my 20% salary. I don't want to take a shortcut. And even if I do a PMP, but when somebody asks me what is business case, I can't even answer the question in the interview. So say I don't have to take it. I better see the details. So when you are executing the project, you have a clear understanding of business value is getting better salary. Now, when you started the project, you had that reason to start it. You had a financial justification. You can say 20% increase in the salary and I am spending $1,000 and probably 2 months of preparation. So say 2 months of preparation, $1,000, I can do it for 20% increase in the salary. That was a business case. Now you are tracking your business value throughout it. Ideally, you should remain aligned with your business case, but there is a possibility sometimes you make more money, sometimes the money may get delayed, and you try to probably figure out what else I can do to achieve the alignment to a business case. Probably while doing PMP, you may realize that just focusing on PMP is not enough. I need to focus on the documents and the artifact because I understand PMP is going at a surface level detail only. The depth is not coming. But when I go for an interview, the depth will get tested. So probably those areas which I feel will get tested in the interview, I go in a depth. Yeah, so that kind of trigger can come for your business case and business value. Hopefully this clarifies the answer, but if not, then we can have further conversation. So if you are watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn, you can put your comments, it will reach us. And I will share my idea, probably limited ideas only, but whatever I can think about that particular problem, I will share it here. And I think I can answer the question related to project management as an agile pretty well, but others may not be. So let's see. Okay, so looks like we are settling down. Let's see if we get something in 1 minute. I stay, else we close the session and do the session next time. Next week, I'm taking a pause because it's a kind of a long weekend in India at least. So I'm not sure how many people are interested in attending Friday session next week because we have a Independence Day holiday on Thursday. Then we have some festive season over the weekend. So I'm taking a pause, not doing the session in the coming Friday. We'll continue it afterwards. I will take a pause for a week. Okay, so if you are just joining in, we are discussing our project management related topics. And if someone has a query related to project management or a PMP certification, you can put it into a comment area. I will do my best to give you a context so that you can find the answers. And yeah. And we started talking about business case to start with before we got into the Q&A part of it. Okay, so there are two questions. First, I take the PMP one, and then I probably talk about the interview one. Yeah. So, how should I select one project out of 5 for my business? So, this question is a portfolio question. Yeah. So, when you are a portfolio manager, your job is this only. So, if you do a PFMP, that will be the question focus area. Now, as a project manager, you probably want to know what was the reason of your project selection. So there could be various parameters, and that is what the business case is all about. So business case may put the return on investment as a figure, may put a payback period as a figure, yeah, may put at a strategic alignment as a figure. So as you learn in a PMP exam, multi-criteria decision making, similarly, the portfolio group will also have a multi-criteria decision making. And for each project, they will see various parameters. Now, what all parameters? It depends, depending upon their overall style of working. So they have a limited money, that's there. And after that, they can say, okay, in this project, this much is ROI, but payback period is very long. I can't wait for 5 years. Maybe this much is there. So they have a payback period as a second point. They may have uncertainty attached to it. They can say, okay, this is very uncertain. It has a payback period, but it's a very uncertain. The estimates looks very uncertain. We don't want to take those uncertainty. There could be some projects which are you have to do compliance project. We can say we just have to don't even think about a business case. We just have to do it if you want to continue doing business in this particular country or in this particular business. So those kind of things will be used by your portfolio group to do it. Now, in your PMP exam, you don't have to go into that much detail. But yes, in a business value topic, we do expect that you understand the ROI bigger is better. The higher the ROI, the better it is. The higher the NPV, better it is. Shorter the payback period, better it is. So some understanding of this terminology, just yeah, because sometimes they may appear in the question. That much is only needed for PMP exam, not beyond that. Yeah. Okay. How do you answer what is your role in a project? So I made a video about it in little detail, talking about the competencies of a project manager and also how do you explain your project in the interview. So probably you need to focus on how, but this is something you need to think in advance. Yeah. And you need to clarify what kind of competency you want to demonstrate, that what do you do, how do you contribute, how do you add value. So I usually follow the same structure which PMI follows. You talk about people domain, you talk about business domain, you talk about process domain. So you focus on some elements from business domain that I have a role of aligning with the stakeholder, understanding the business value, presenting and tracking the return of our work, ensuring that we are making a product which can be useful. So you pick up from that area. The people domain, motivating people, providing them leadership, facilitating, coaching, mentoring, training, growing people. That's something should be very clearly coming out from your role as a project manager and in your project. And then you talk about process part of it. Process part of it, agile could be focusing on sprint reviews and all those kind of meetings. Predictive lifecycle can focus on various processes like risk management, scheduling. Scheduling is a big topic. Project scheduling, maintaining the project schedule, managing the cost baselines, focusing on change request. So all those things which you study in your PMP exam, you need to summarize them as per your current experience. So say in a PMP, you may study 40 things. They can say these are the 40 things, specifically speaking 35 tasks. So PMI, as per PMP exam content outline, project managers are expected to do 35 core tasks. So you probably study those 35 core tasks well. Now in your day-to-day projects, you may not be doing all 35. You may be doing 20 out of it and maybe 10 something which is not there in those 35. But you need to make sure that you present them well, and looking at a PMI language and your current project experience can help you in answering this question in little better. Yeah. But what I'm sensing it, the person is trying to sense what do you do? What do you understand by your role? Yeah. And based on that, they are trying to find out it is how it is aligning with their position. Okay, we start. So how does business analyst interact with the PMs when starting the project other than reviewing the business case with the project manager? So say business analyst is also a little confusing term. We don't know the business analyst role. So one is a business analyst role, which is more associated with doing business analysis inside the project. There is also a business analyst role which might got started even before the project gets started. So for example, you are thinking about, in my company, should we invest in creating a website for selling our shops? And I need to do a business analysis for that. I need to do a stakeholder interview. I need to find out what is the potential business size, what can we earn from it, and I need to identify how long the solution will take. There is a business analysis role. And that business analysis role have given the sufficient data to show what can be done and what is the case of it in the form of a business case, and stakeholder might have approved it. That's the one dimension of it. Another dimension of a business analyst role is now working in the detail, working on the requirements and working with the project team and making sure that they have a good, clear understanding of what really stakeholder needs, and ensuring the stakeholder needs and expectations are really getting converted to deliverable. That's a second business analyst trait. So I need to do both. Yeah, I need to have a people who can do both the tasks. Now, there could be separate people doing it. Now, there is also a possibility the person who was initially involved in the business case get extended and working with you in the project. That's a very great situation. You can say that's a very good. Yeah, we have a person who has a market insight. Now, he's also helping us to find out the fine-grained details related to our project requirements. So this is something you do. Now, how do you interact with them? You definitely create your communication plan. Business analyst, if coming at a later stage, you consider them as a part of your project team. There could be some business analyst who might have done only do a strategic work, then he could be a stakeholder for you, just a stakeholder beyond a project team. So we need to understand, is it a stakeholder beyond a project team? Then he's a high value stakeholder. You want to take input. He's a subject matter expert for you. If he's a part of your project team, then you need to work with him in a fine collaborative manner, because he's helping you to find out requirement documents, scope baselines, and tracking the requirement traceability metrics, helping the customer acceptance getting done with the help of scope validation. All these activities will be led by a business analyst kind of person. Yeah, exactly depends upon your project, but that's a kind of person. Okay, so what estimation techniques are used while preparing a business case? Very important point to keep in mind. Usually, you either do analogous rough order of magnitude estimate, or you do a parametric estimate. It is very unlikely you go for bottom-up estimation. So you can say the estimation done in the business case will have high variability. You can expect plus minus 50 to 100% variance. You might think it's a work of 6 months, it may become a one year work. And that kind of uncertainty and contingency need to be put into evaluating the business case as well. So usually based on the historical data, we call it analogous estimate. You might put in a business case, or if you have a model, if you have been working in the similar industry for a while, you have established model of doing that kind of work, then you may do a parametric estimates as well. But at this stage, very detailed estimation is not possible, and that's why the estimation accuracy is expected to be low when you are preparing the business case. And that's what we present in the form of cone of uncertainty. So you remember the cone starts with a higher thing and then it shrinks to a lower narrow range. So estimation is always error prone, and we are starting with a bigger and then we are shrinking and we are improving it as we move forward. Internal rate of return is different for different organization. So internal rate of return is just based on calculation. It has nothing to do with organization. Yeah. So say when you have X amount of money going out and Y amount of money coming in, and you want to figure it out, this cash inflow and outflow, what kind of rate of return I am getting. That's the internal rate of return. Yeah. So it's a kind of a little complex calculation, little bit complex calculation, because it factors time value of money. But this is something you calculate, and it has nothing much to do with the organization. It's just a calculation. Yeah. So you do in one company, you do in another company, it's the same. It's all about cash in, cash out. Yeah. But for PMP exam, you don't have to analyze the IRR formula. Unnecessarily, you will spend more time. You just need to remember, if I have two projects and one project has a higher internal rate of return, I understand this project is expected to give more benefits at a high level. There could be other parameters also, but just if I have to make a decision based on IRR, bigger the number, the better it is. That's it. Okay, will a company use a senior business analyst as a PM even though the title is a senior business analyst? So what I see in many organizations, the role of a project manager, some organization focus on execution focused project manager, team oriented project manager. In some organization, that's the focus area. Some organization focus on user oriented or a business oriented project manager. So in those organizations where their focus is more business oriented, then they have a team leader, a strong team leader role inside the organization who takes care of execution work. Yeah. But you as a PM more focus on stakeholder engagement, requirement collection, solutioning. Yeah, that becomes your area. In those kind of organization, the business analyst end up playing, maybe a current business analyst may become a future project manager, or the role of a business analyst and project manager has a good amount of overlap. Or in a way, project managers end up doing good amount of business analysis because they are working with the end users and stakeholders more rather than focusing on the team. They may not participate in the team estimation activities. They may not participate in a, say, team facilitation of various things. Team leader or scrum master is taking care of that job, but they might be more focused on the external environment. So there is a possibility. I do see many such organizations, but I do see the different one also, where the project manager is more internal focused, which is more technical focused, execution focused, and they are more connected with the teams rather than connected with the external user. And there are some organizations where you have a balanced responsibility. You are balancing between external and internal. By default, for PMP exam, we go with the balanced, but in your real projects, depending upon organization culture, you will see these variances. So should PM intervene during requirement gathering exercise if the field business case is not elicited in detail, or leave it to a judgment of a business analyst who is the true estimation of what of the gathered requirement? So say for a PMP exam perspective, accountability of a project success is on me. Yeah. If anything going wrong, which I feel is going wrong, I might be feeling wrong also. Yeah, I might think it is wrong, but it could be right also. So that's also a possibility. But I need to bring out my feeling, and I need to inculcate that behavior in every team member. If you feel the business analyst is doing mistake, if you are an engineer, you have to point it out. If I feel you are doing a mistake, I have to point it out. What is wrong in it? So we need to bring it out so that we can create an environment of healthy conflict, which help us in achieving better value. So that as a mindset I behave, from a PMP exam perspective. So I definitely have to figure it out. I need to involve the right people, and it is nothing against anyone. It is for the success of project objective. We all are here to make project successful. So you need to definitely put your point, and you need to create that behavior in everyone. Now, having said that, it depends upon your overall organization roles and responsibility also. Sometimes you are having a matrix organization, then still you put it out, but you may not have that strong accountability of making project success. There could be some functional head who might be heading the business analysis role, and he might be owning the accountability of right business analysis and right priorities. Probably there is a possibility. So it could be a core product manager, it could be a core product owner, or some maybe a business analyst head. There is a possibility. In those cases, I need to work with them. But if I have a feeling, or anyone has a feeling, the feeling has to come out, maybe as a suggestion, maybe as a question. But the overall accountability of success may vary depending upon how organization has designed the role of a project manager. Yeah, but it is important to point it out. That is something you do in the PMP exam as well. Be it a product owner doing some mistake and you see that that's there, you need to bring it out. But there's also a possibility you might be wrong reading. Yeah. So don't be very sure this guy is doing mistake and I am the only one who knows it. No. At least in the real world as well as in PMP exam, you don't show the closed mindset. You're open. You're open, but you are open to challenge also. Interesting, I guess. Yeah. So yeah. So I feel that it is not hard to think in a PMP style, provided we don't think too much to make it right. If we just go with the people mindset, business mindset, we are good for our certification as well as for our job interviews. Okay, I think I have covered whatever came till now. I'm just taking a pause again in case something show up. Okay, looks like we explored good number of questions today related to business case and business value. Um, we do have 4 tasks related to business domain. I'm sure you might be already aware that on our website, you can find the details of these 4 tasks. You can go to tutorial and there you can also find the questions associated with these 4 tasks. Yeah. So I can show it briefly in case you are not aware. Just a second, I'm just giving a quick demo. So here you go to resources, you go to tutorial, and here you see the details. And we have something called PMP exam syllabus ECO thing. And you go down. So there are people domain tasks, there are process domain tasks, and the last 4 tasks are business domain. So for example, today we were focusing more on evaluate and deliver project benefits and value. So yeah, but other tasks are also a little bit interconnected, but this one is the most connected for today's discussion, task 2 of our business domain. So I do have a small video where I'm trying to explain this whole task here. It's a YouTube video, you can check it out. Then there is a text around it. And after that, there is a tagging of various questions. We have around 180 questions, I can say so, because they are going to be 180 within a week. So it's like a full length mock test for your PMP and mapped to the tasks. So if you play with these questions, there is a question on net present value as well. There is a question on the things which are relevant for PMP, not going beyond that. So they can help you in strengthening this particular idea. So you can just navigate. I'm putting the link in the chat as well in case you want to put it here. So that's the thing. I know that the link will not go in a chat to LinkedIn. Yeah, so please follow Eyes and Bridge sequence for the LinkedIn users. We have a question asking, is the 3 months period is good for PMP exam? So I see a PMP exam preparation is usually between 1 month to 3 months. Yeah, that's how it is. But yes, upper range is 3 months. But you should know, are you ready based on the feedback? So one of the biggest parameter of updating or managing your plan is evaluating and taking a feedback how I am doing. So in general, the estimate of 3 months is good, but once you see that you are prepared at a decent level, you need to take a mock test, a full length mock test, something which is reliable from a reliable source, so you know which area is working and which area is not working, and that is something we can focus on. Yeah, that's something you can it will give you a feedback, and based on that you can focus on. Now, do we have a PM interview prep classes? So not as a class, but I do have a YouTube videos where I am talking about various project manager interview related questions. But also I can give a 101 session. It's a free session, just that we do it on we record the session, but you can keep your identity hidden. So we can have a call, and I will record that session, and I will also use it for the purpose of our education. Yeah. So that is an option. You can drop us an email if you want to schedule a call around it. But yeah, yeah. So that's something. Just a second. Yeah, I clicked something, and this whole started opening up. So we do have a YouTube playlist of around 8-9 questions, but I can do a one-on-one session for you if you are interested. Yeah, just drop us an email. We can schedule a call, and yeah, no charge. Just we need that conversation, because that conversation is going to be very useful for everyone in the community. We have one already where I'm doing a conversation to clarify some of the project manager interview question to one of the participants, and it is adding a good value for many users. So that's the simple process. Okay. Okay, then I think we conclude. Looks like we are settled down now. No new question, and previous questions has been answered. If you have follow-up queries, the YouTube comment is always open. Please put your comment. I will try my best to quickly reply to them. Any video you are watching, you can put a comment there. You can put a comment later on this video as well. That is also available. And LinkedIn is another place where we can remain connected. I'm pretty active on the LinkedIn space as well. Some of you might be also part of my WhatsApp community. So that's another source where you can remain connected in our WhatsApp community. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for joining it today. Yeah. Nice talking to you. Bye for now. Bye everyone.